Checking out the Lenovo Yoga A940. Now the A stands for all-in-one, and as you might have guessed from just looking at the device, it's Lenovo's answer to the Microsoft Surface Studio. Two things that jump out at me right away from just playing around with this device for a few minutes are that it's got a different sliding mechanism than the Surface Studio, so it has a place to put your mouse and keyboard right under the monitor. It's also got all of its components here in this base station with two easy to remove screws. That way you can upgrade things like the SSD and the RAM, which is something the Surface Studio doesn't let you do. So that could be a big boon for creative professionals who are looking for a cheaper alternative. Like the Surface Studio, the A940 is designed for people who do a lot of photo editing, a lot of illustration, that kind of work. People who would need to kind of take this monitor, pull it down, and get like up and close and personal with the images that they're working on. So with that, you get a stylus, which sits over here in the wireless charging stand. And you also get this nifty little knob on the side, similar to the Surface Dial, in that you can customize what it does. You can tap in for settings, and these settings are app specific. They change depending on whether you press the button, whether you're rotating the first dial, or whether you're rotating the second dial. You can change those for Photoshop, you can customize them for Illustrator, for Lightroom, whatever you want. So with this dial, you can also, if you don't like it being on the left, you can just pull it out and switch it to the other side. Each of the two USB-A ports on each side have magnetic covers, and then you can just take them out and stick them to the back of the machine if you don't like. So Lenovo is also bundling a stylus here. It's just a standard stylus using Wacom technology. It's got 4,096 points of pressure. You also got two buttons on the side here for customizable settings depending on what apps you're using. So the most important component of the A940 is obviously the display. So it's a 27-inch touchscreen 4K display. What makes it different than the Surface Studio is obviously how you're going to be using it. So you have an area to put your keyboard right here, and then you have an area to put your mouse. And then you just pull this down now that your desk in front of you is uncluttered. And from there you can just get to work right on the screen. So the display isn't quite as high quality as the Surface Studio, which is more than $1,000 more expensive, but it is still a 27-inch 4K display. It looks great. It's very responsive. You use it really easily without a keyboard. The whole point is that you would basically pull this down, keep the keyboard out of the way, and do all your work right here on the display up close and personal with every image. So powering the A940 is Intel HN Core i7. You get AMD Radeon RX 560 graphics. That can't be upgraded, but you can upgrade the memory and the storage. So it starts with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage on the solid state drive. The RAM goes up to 32 gigabytes and the solid state drive can go up to 512. You also get a separate hard drive that's just 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes. So there are two display configurations. You can get the 27-inch UHD model with the IPS touchscreen. You can also get the QHD model, which is a lower resolution. That also has the IPS touchscreen. So the big differentiating factor here with the A940 is obviously the price. It's more than $1,000 cheaper than the Surface Studio 2. It starts at $2,349. That includes the dial, the keyboard, the mouse, the stylus, and the inductive charger, all in one package.